I woke to the cold kiss of scissors against my scalp. My eyes snapped open in the Predawn darkness, but it was already too late. Through my groggy confusion, I saw her, my stepmother Gloria, standing over my bed with a satisfied smirk, holding chunks of my dark hair in her fists. What? What did you do?
Mom,
My hands flew to my head,
honestly,
feeling the
you
jagged,
are
uneven
annoying me.
patches where my hair used to fall past my shoulders. My heart dropped into my stomach. "Just evening the playing field, sweetheart," Gloria said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "Can't have you outshining the bride at your sister's wedding tomorrow, can we? Wouldn't want all those photographers focused on the stepdaughter instead of precious Melissa." I staggered to the mirror, and a sob caught in my throat. I looked like someone had taken gardening shears to my head. Uneven chunks stuck out at odd angles, some areas buzzed nearly to the scalp, others hanging in pathetic wisps. My sister's wedding was in less than 12 hours. "You're insane," I whispered, tears streaming down my face. "I'm practical," she corrected, tossing the scissors onto my dresser. "Your father will understand, he always does." With that, she swept out of my room. I collapsed onto my bed, feeling utterly hopeless. No salon could fix this in time. I'd have to show up looking like this, if I even had the courage to go at all. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number, having trouble sleeping. My blood ran cold. Then it buzzed again, "Come downstairs, black sedan, don't make me wait." I should have been terrified, but at that moment, I had nothing left to lose. I pulled on a hoodie over my pajamas and crept downstairs, stepping over the floorboard that creaked. The black Mercedes idled at the curb, tinted windows revealing nothing. The back door opened as I approached. "Get in," a deep voice commanded from the darkness. I hesitated for only a moment before sliding into the leather interior. The door closed behind me with an expensive thunk. The man sitting across from me was probably the most striking person I'd ever seen. Korean features, sharp jaw, hair swept back immaculately. He wore a three-piece suit at 4 a.m. like it was the most natural thing in the world. His dark eyes studied me with an intensity that made me want to shrink into the seat. "Take off the hood," he said. "Who are you?" "Kang Min-jun. Your father owes me a considerable debt. Take off the hood." With shaking hands, I pulled back my hood. His expression didn't change, but something flickered in those dark eyes. Was it anger? "Who did this?" His voice was dangerously quiet. "Why do you care?" "Because you're coming to your sister's wedding as my date tomorrow, and I don't accept damaged goods." He pulled out his phone and made a call, speaking rapid Korean. Then he looked back at me. "We have 8 hours before the best stylist in the city opens her salon. She owes me a favor. Several, actually." "I can't afford." "Did I ask about your finances?" He leaned forward slightly. "Your stepmother did this to humiliate you, to make you hide. Are you going to let her win?" "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly. I've made a career out of understanding power dynamics and leverage. Your stepmother wanted to destroy your confidence before an important family event. Classic intimidation tactic, sloppy execution, but effective on civilians." "Civilians?" I almost laughed. "What are you, military?" His smile was predatory. "Something like that. Now who did this?" I should have lied, should have protected Gloria despite everything, but something about Min-jun's presence made me feel reckless. "My stepmother. She wants me to look terrible at my sister's wedding so I won't draw attention from the bride." He nodded slowly, as if this confirmed something he already knew. "Your stepmother is Gloria Winters, formerly Gloria Chen. She's been skimming money from your father's accounts to fuel a gambling addiction. She's currently $73,000 in debt to one of my associates." I stared at him. "How do you?" "I make it my business to know things. Now, here's what's going to happen. You're going to that wedding looking absolutely stunning. I'm going to be your date. And your stepmother is going to understand that you are under my protection now. Any questions?" "Why would you help me? You said my father owes you money. Wouldn't it make more sense to?" "Your father's debt is financial and will be resolved financially. You, however, are far more interesting." He studied me like I was a puzzle he was solving. "You've been accepting abuse from that woman for 3 years. You work 2 jobs to afford college because she convinced your father you're not worth investing in. Yet you're pulling a 3.9 GPA in biochemistry. You're resilient, resourceful, and currently very angry. I can work with that. Work with that how? Let's just say I'm always looking for intelligent people who understand loyalty. Consider tomorrow an interview of sorts. His phone buzzed. The stylist will see you at 6 a.m. I'll have clothes sent to her salon. You'll need a new dress. Something that makes your stepmother's face fall when you walk in. I can't accept. You can, and you will. Consider it a gift for your sister's wedding, unless you'd prefer to show up looking like your stepmother's revenge project. I bit my lip. Every rational bone in my body screamed that getting involved with someone like Min-jun was dangerous. But the alternative was showing up mutilated and humiliated, giving Gloria exactly what she wanted. Okay, I whispered, but I'm paying you back whatever this costs. His smile was almost genuine this time. We'll discuss terms later. For now, try to get some sleep. You have a big day ahead of you. He handed me a card with only a phone number on it. Call this number if your stepmother tries anything else, anytime, day or night. The driver pulled up to my house. As I reached for the door, Min-jun's hand caught my wrist, gentle but firm. One more thing, he said. When people ask who I am tomorrow, tell them I'm a family friend who's known you for years, and smile when you say it. Make them believe it. Why? Because the best revenge isn't anger. It's making them regret ever underestimating you. He released my wrist. Get some rest. I'll collect you at 5:30. I stumbled back into my house in a daze. When I looked in the mirror again, my butchered hair seemed less like a tragedy and more like the beginning of something new, something dangerous and thrilling, and completely unlike the safe, quiet life I'd been living. My phone buzzed one more time. Don't disappoint me tomorrow. I rarely give second chances. I saved the number under My Salvation and tried to ignore the fact that I just made a deal with the devil. But if the devil could make my stepmother regret the day she picked up those scissors, maybe that was a price worth paying. The Mercedes arrived at exactly 5:30 a.m., as promised. I'd managed maybe an hour of sleep, my mind racing with questions about Min-jun, his motives, and what I'd got myself into. This time, he wasn't in the car. Instead, a woman in her 40s with severe features and impeccable style sat in the back seat. I'm Mrs. Chen, she said as I climbed in. Mr. Kang's personal consultant. Let me see the damage. I pulled back my hood again, and her sharp intake of breath told me everything. That woman is a monster, Mrs. Chen muttered. No matter. Soo-yeon is a miracle worker. We'll have you looking like a queen by noon. The salon was in an unmarked building in the fashion district. Inside, it was all white marble and gold fixtures. A tiny Korean woman with silver-streaked hair looked up from her tea and simply said, "Show me." For the next 5 hours, I sat in that chair while Soo-yeon worked magic. She didn't try to salvage what Gloria had destroyed. Instead, she cut everything short, shaping it into a sleek pixie cut that emphasized my cheekbones and made my dark eyes look enormous. As my natural curls were cropped away, she worked with their texture, creating something edgy and sophisticated. You have a beautiful face, Soo-yeon said in accented English. That woman tried to hide it. Now everyone will see. While she worked, Mrs. Chen returned with garment bags. Mr. Kang selected these himself. He has excellent taste. The dress was a deep emerald silk that hugged every curve before flowing elegantly to the floor. Subtle, expensive, and absolutely stunning. The shoes were designer heels that probably cost more than my monthly rent. I can't accept all this, I protested weakly. Mr. Kang doesn't like to be refused, Mrs. Chen said. Besides, you'll be representing him today. He has a reputation to maintain. By the time they finished, hair, makeup, dress, accessories, I barely recognized myself. The woman in the mirror looked confident, powerful, dangerous even, not someone to be pitied or pushed around. Perfect, Mrs. Chen declared. Mr. Kang will be pleased. The wedding was at 2 p.m. at a luxury hotel downtown. The Merceds dropped me at the entrance at exactly 1:45. I stepped out, and several people in the lobby actually turned to stare. I spotted my father first, talking with some relatives. His eyes widened when he saw me. "Sweetheart, is that you?" He rushed over, looking confused. "Your hair! What happened? Gloria said you had an accident with some scissors, but this looks professional." "I had help," I said simply. "Where's the bride?" Before he could answer, Gloria appeared from around the corner. Her face went through several expressions in rapid succession: confusion, recognition, then pure fury as she realized what I'd done. "What is this?" she hissed, grabbing my arm. "How did you afford? Who paid for this?" "I did." The voice came from behind me. Min-jun had arrived, and he looked devastating in a custom black suit. He moved to my side, placing a possessive hand on the small of my back. "I don't believe we've been properly introduced," he said to Gloria, his smile not reaching his eyes. "Kang Min-jun, I'm a very close family friend." Gloria's face had gone pale. "Kang Min-jun." "You've heard of me, good." He pulled me closer. "I take care of what's mine. I hope we understand each other, Mrs. Winters." The threat in his voice was subtle but unmistakable. Gloria's hand fell from my arm like she'd been burned. I need to check on Melissa," she stammered, backing away. My father looked between us, confused. "Min-jun, I don't recall meeting any." "We met at a charity function," I lied smoothly, just as Min-jun had instructed. "He's been a friend for a while now. I invited him as my +1. Min-jun extended his hand to my father. "A pleasure, Mr. Winters. Your daughter speaks very highly of you." As they shook hands, I caught the way Min-jun's eyes assessed my father, calculating, measuring, seeing right through him. "Shall we find our seats?" Min-jun said, steering me away before my father could ask more questions. The ceremony was beautiful. My sister Melissa looked radiant in her wedding dress, and for a moment I felt genuinely happy for her. She'd always been kind to me, even when Gloria wasn't. But I couldn't miss the way Gloria kept glancing back at us throughout the ceremony, or how people whispered and stared at Min-jun with a mixture of curiosity and something that looked like fear. "Who are you really?" I whispered during the vows. "Exactly who I said I was," he murmured back. "The question is, who do you want to be?" At the reception, Min-jun played his part perfectly. He was charming to my relatives, respectful to my sister, and subtly dominant in every interaction. When we danced, every eye in the room was on us. "You're enjoying this," I said as he spun me across the floor. "Aren't you?" His dark eyes gleamed with amusement. "Look at your stepmother's face. Look at how everyone sees you now, not as the overlooked stepdaughter, but as someone important, someone protected." He was right. Gloria looked like she'd swallowed glass every time she glanced our way, and the relatives who usually ignored me were suddenly interested in conversation. "This is all manipulation," I said. "Of course it is, but whose? Mine or yours?" He dipped me low, his face inches from mine. "I gave you the tools, you're the one using them beautifully." "What do you want from me?" "I told you, consider today an interview." He pulled me back up. "I need someone smart, someone who understands chemistry and biology, someone who's been underestimated their whole life and is hungry to prove themselves, someone loyal." "Loyal to what?" "To success, to power, to never being a victim again." His expression grew serious. "I run a pharmaceutical company among other interests, legitimate and otherwise. I need someone I can trust in my research division, someone with your skills and your particular motivation." "You want me to work for you?" "I want you to work with me, there's a difference." He glanced over my shoulder. "Your stepmother is heading this way, watch this." Gloria approached with a forced smile, my father trailing behind her. "The bride would like a photo with the family," she said tightly. "Of course," I said sweetly. "Min-jun, would you mind?" "Not at all." But before I could leave, he caught my hand and pressed a kiss to my knuckles, his eyes locked on Gloria's face. "Don't be long." The possession in that gesture was clear to everyone watching. Gloria's smile looked painful. During the family photo, Melissa pulled me aside. "Who is that man?" she whispered. "He's gorgeous, but he looks dangerous." "He is," I admitted, "but he's on my side." "Good," she squeezed my hand. "You look amazing, by the way. Mom was so smug this morning about. Wait, did she really cut your hair?" I nodded. My sister's face darkened. "I'm so sorry." I had no idea she'd go that far, if I'd known. "It's not your fault, and honestly, it worked out." I glanced back at Minjun, who was now in conversation with several business types who'd approached him. Better than I could have imagined. After the photos, Minjun found me again. "Time to go," he said. "The reception isn't over." "We've made our point. Staying longer would be excessive." He guided me toward the exit. "Besides, we have business to discuss." In the car, he handed me a folder. "Your employment contract. Salary, benefits, signing bonus. Everything's there. Read it over, consult a lawyer if you'd like, and give me your answer by Monday." I opened the folder, and my jaw dropped. The salary alone was more than both my parents made combined. This is insane. I haven't even graduated yet. "You will, in 3 months. Your final thesis is on targeted drug delivery systems using nanoparticles. It's brilliant work. I've read it." "How did you?" I stopped. "Of course you did." "I don't make offers blindly." He settled back in his seat. "You have potential that's being wasted serving coffee and filing papers. I can give you a real lab, real funding, real opportunity. All I ask is loyalty and discretion." "And what happens if I say no?" His smile was enigmatic. "Then today was a lovely wedding, and you got a free makeover out of it. I don't force people into my organization, but I think you'll say yes." "Why?" "Because you felt it today. Power, control, the ability to make people like your stepmother think twice before crossing you. That's addictive." He pulled out his phone. "I'm not a good man, I won't pretend to be, but I protect what's mine, I pay well, and I never break my word. Can you say the same about anyone else in your life?" I thought about my father, who'd let Gloria treat me like trash for years. About the professors who'd overlooked me for prestigious positions. About every person who'd underestimated me because I was quiet and polite. "I want to see the lab first," I said, "and I want to meet the team I'd be working with." Minjun's smile widened. "Monday morning, 9 a.m., I'll send a car." He signaled the driver to stop. We were back at my house. "One more thing." He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small velvet box. Inside was a sleek smartwatch. "Emergency button here," he pointed. "Press it 3 times fast if you're in trouble, any trouble. Someone will respond within minutes." "You think Gloria might?" "I think people who feel cornered do desperate things, and we cornered her today quite effectively." His expression grew cold. "If she touches you again, she'll regret it, but I'd rather prevent that scenario entirely." I took the watch, the weight of it substantial on my wrist. "Thank you," I said quietly, "for today, for all of this." "Thank yourself. You're the one who had the courage to get in my car at 4 a.m. He opened the door for me. "See you Monday, unless your stepmother tries something before then, in which case I'll see you much sooner." I climbed out, then turned back. "Minjun, why me, really?" He considered the question seriously. "Because when I saw what she did to you, I saw someone at a crossroads. You could become bitter and broken, or you could become dangerous. I bet on dangerous." His smile was almost fond. "Don't prove me wrong." The car pulled away, leaving me standing in front of my house in a dress worth thousands of dollars, with a job offer that could change my life, and a dangerous man's protection wrapped around me like armor. Inside, I could hear Gloria already screaming at my father about the wedding, about me, about Minjun. I touched the watch on my wrist and smiled. Let her scream. She couldn't touch me anymore. I had found my salvation, and it had sharp edges. The house was a war zone when I walked in. "Embarrass this family with your criminal associations," Gloria was shrieking at the top of her lungs. "Do you have any idea who that man is? What he's involved in?" "He seemed perfectly respectable to me," my father said weakly. "Very polite, well-dressed." "He's a gangster, Richard. Korean mafia. I've heard stories." Then maybe you should have thought about that before you tried to sabotage your stepdaughter, I said, stepping into the living room. They both whirled around. Gloria's face went purple with rage. This is all your fault. Bringing that man here, making a spectacle. I made a spectacle, I laughed, and it felt good. You cut my hair while I slept, Gloria. You tried to destroy my confidence before my sister's wedding. All I did was refuse to be your victim. Richard, are you going to let her speak to me this way? My father looked between us, clearly torn. Sweetheart, maybe we should all calm down and… No, Dad, I cut him off. I'm done calming down. I'm done being quiet. I'm done letting her treat me like garbage while you stand by and do nothing. I've provided for you, he started. You've provided shelter and food, the bare minimum. But when she convinced you I wasn't worth sending to my first-choice university, when she made me work 2 jobs while Melissa got everything handed to her, when she belittled me at every family dinner, I shook my head. You did nothing. That's not fair. Life isn't fair, Dad. I learned that from you. I headed for the stairs. I'm moving out. I'll be gone by the end of the week. You can't afford, Gloria started. I have a job offer, a very good one. I'll be fine. From him, from that criminal, Gloria's voice went shrill. Richard, you have to forbid this. I turned back, and the look on my face must have been something because Gloria actually took a step back. I'm 22 years old. He can't forbid anything. I looked at my father, and even if he could, we both know he wouldn't. He never has. I left them arguing and went to my room, locking the door behind me. My phone buzzed almost immediately. Minjun, everything all right? Your heart rate spiked. I looked down at the watch on my wrist, realizing it was monitoring my vitals. Me, you're tracking me. Minjun, I'm protecting you. There's a difference. Do I need to send someone? Me, no, just family drama. I'm moving out. Minjun, good. I'll have Mrs. Chen arrange a furnished apartment near the lab. You can move in tomorrow. Me, I haven't accepted the job yet. Minjun, you will. His confidence should have annoyed me. Instead, it made me smile. Me, pretty sure of yourself. Minjun, I'm sure of you. Get some sleep. Big day Monday. That night, I lay awake thinking about everything that had happened in the last 24 hours. 48 hours ago, I'd been invisible. Now I had a powerful man's protection, a job offer that seemed too good to be true, and a future that looked nothing like the one I'd imagined. The question was, what price would I ultimately pay for it? Sunday morning, I woke to find my father sitting at the kitchen table alone, looking exhausted. Gloria's at Melissa's, he said quietly, helping them settle into their new place. I poured myself coffee and sat down across from him. I'm sorry, he said finally, about everything. I didn't realize how bad it had gotten. Yes, you did, I said, not unkindly. You just chose not to see it. He flinched. She made me happy. After your mother died, I was so lost, and Gloria was there, and… I'm not asking you to choose, Dad. I'm just choosing myself for once. This man, Minjun, he's dangerous, isn't he? Probably. And you're getting involved with him anyway. He's offering me opportunities no one else would. Real research, real funding, real respect. I met my father's eyes. He saw me, actually saw me. When's the last time you did that? My father looked away. What if he hurts you? What if he doesn't? What if this is exactly what I need? I stood up. I love you, Dad, but I can't keep making myself small to keep the peace. Not anymore. He nodded slowly. When do you leave? Tomorrow. Mrs. Chen is arranging an apartment. Will you still visit for holidays? I thought about it. Maybe, if Gloria can be civil, but I'm not going to be disrespected in the name of family unity anymore. That's fair, he said quietly. Your mother would be proud of you, the way you stood up for yourself yesterday. Mom would have knocked Gloria out the first time she tried something, I said, and we both laughed, sad but genuine. Monday morning came too quickly. The car arrived at 8:30, a different one this time, sleek and black with tinted windows. The driver introduced himself as James and informed me that he'd be my regular driver for work. Regular driver, I repeated. Mr. Kang's orders, miss. He prefers his key personnel to have secure transportation. Key personnel, the word sent a thrill through me. The lab was in a modern glass building on the outskirts of the city, unmarked except for a discreet KM Research plaque by the entrance. James escorted me through multiple security checkpoints, retinal scans, fingerprint readers, the works. We take security very seriously, a woman's voice said. I turned to find an elegant black woman in a white lab coat. She was probably in her 40s, with natural hair pulled back in a professional puff and intelligent eyes behind designer glasses. Dr. Amara Williams, she introduced herself. I'm the head of our pharmaceutical research division. You must be the new recruit Mr. Kang has been so excited about. He's been excited. She smiled. He sent me your thesis, personally, at 3 a.m. on a Sunday. That's excited for him. She gestured for me to follow. Let me show you around. The facility was incredible. State-of-the-art equipment, cutting-edge technology, research budgets that made my university lab look like a high school chemistry set. We have 3 main projects right now, Dr. Williams explained. Pain management research using non-opioid compounds, targeted cancer therapies, and neurodegenerative disease treatment. Your background in nanoparticle delivery systems would be valuable for all 3. This all seems very legitimate, I said carefully. Dr. Williams stopped and looked at me directly. It is, completely. This lab operates under every regulation, passes every inspection, and publishes in peer-reviewed journals. Whatever else Mr. Kang is involved in, he keeps it far away from this facility. Why? Because good research requires credibility, and because, she paused, I think he actually cares about this work. His mother died of Alzheimer's 5 years ago. He couldn't save her, so now he funds research to save others. I hadn't expected that. He told you this. No, I did my homework before accepting his offer 3 years ago. She smiled slightly. I assume you did the same. I didn't have much time. Well, you have time now. Come on, I'll show you your lab space. My lab space, the word still felt surreal. The morning passed in a blur of introductions, paperwork, and equipment demonstrations. The team was small but brilliant, 3 other researchers, all with impressive credentials and publications. They seemed genuinely excited to have me aboard. At noon, Dr. Williams knocked on my office door. Mr. Kang would like to see you, top floor. My stomach flipped. Now. The elevator ride to the top floor felt eternal. The doors opened onto a minimalist reception area where Mrs. Chen sat behind an impossibly organized desk. Go right in, she said. He's expecting you. Min Jun's office was all floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. He stood with his back to me, hands in his pockets, looking out at the skyline. How was your first morning? He asked without turning around. Overwhelming, amazing, terrifying. He turned then and smiled. Good, that means you're paying attention. He gestured to the sitting area. Please. I sat, and he poured 2 glasses of water from a crystal decanter before settling across from me. Dr. Williams gave you the tour. Yes, she's impressive. She's brilliant and honest. She'll tell you if I ever cross lines I shouldn't. He sipped his water. I wanted to check in, make sure you're settling in, make sure you haven't changed your mind. About the job. About any of this. I met his eyes. Why do you care if I change my mind? You barely know me. I know you better than you think. I know you graduated top of your class. I know you volunteer at a children's hospital teaching science workshops. I know you've been supporting yourself since you were 18 because your stepmother convinced your father you needed to learn independence. Her independence, not yours. He leaned forward slightly. I know Saturday night, you didn't press that emergency button even though your stepmother was screaming at you. You wanted to handle it yourself. You were listening. The watch has audio if the panic protocol is activated. It wasn't, but I was monitoring your vitals, yes. He didn't look apologetic. You handled yourself well. I'm moving out, finding an apartment. Already done. Mrs. Chen has the keys. 2-bedroom, fully furnished, 10 minutes from here. First 3 months paid. I can pay my own rent. Consider it a signing bonus. You can take over payments after 90 days. He pulled out a contract. This is the official offer. Same terms we discussed, everything legal and documented. No hidden clauses, no tricks. Take it to a lawyer if you want. I'll wait. I took the contract, scanning through it. Everything was as he'd said, generous salary, excellent benefits, clear job description. But there was one clause that caught my attention. Employee agrees to maintain strict confidentiality regarding all proprietary research and business operations. I read aloud. That's pretty standard, but this part, employee acknowledges that breach of confidentiality will result in immediate termination and legal action. That sounds like a threat. It's a promise, Minjun said evenly. I protect my people, but I also expect loyalty. Betray me and there are consequences. I won't pretend otherwise. And if I just want to leave someday, do my own thing. Then you give proper notice, we have an exit interview, and you leave with my blessing and a reference. I'm not a prison warden. His expression softened slightly. I want people who want to be here, who choose this, every day. I looked at the contract again. My hands weren't shaking. I thought they should be, signing my life away to a man who was probably involved in things I couldn't even imagine. But when I thought about going back to my old life, invisible, underestimated, powerless, my stomach turned. Do you have a pen? I asked. Minjun smiled and produced an elegant fountain pen. I signed 3 copies, one for him, one for me, one for HR. Welcome to the team, he said, standing and extending his hand. I shook it, his grip firm and warm. Thank you for everything. Don't thank me yet. I have high expectations. But his eyes were warm. Mrs. Chen will get you set up with building access, company accounts, everything you need. Your first project briefing is Wednesday. Tonight, I want you to settle into your apartment, rest, and prepare for what comes next. What comes next? Excellence, he said simply. Nothing less. I turned to leave, but his voice stopped me at the door. One more thing, your stepmother. I turned back. What about her? She's been making calls, trying to find dirt on me, threatening to go to authorities about criminal connections. He didn't look concerned. She won't find anything actionable, but she might try to use you to get to me. If she contacts you, you let me know immediately. You think she'd try something? I think desperate people are unpredictable, and I think $73,000 in gambling debts makes people very desperate. He met my eyes. I can make that debt disappear. One phone call. Consider it handled. Why would you? Because she hurt you, and because I don't leave loose ends. His expression was unreadable. Consider it a belated wedding gift. I should have been horrified, should have questioned what handled meant. Instead, I just nodded. Thank you. Thank yourself. You're the one who got in the car that night. He smiled. Now go, you have an apartment to explore. The apartment was stunning. High ceilings, modern appliances, a view of the city skyline. My bedroom had been stocked with professional clothes in my size. Somehow Mrs. Chen had figured out my measurements. The kitchen was fully stocked with groceries. Even the bathroom had luxury toiletries. I stood in the middle of the living room, taking it all in. 48 hours ago, I'd woken up to my stepmother mutilating my hair. Now I had a career, my own place, and a powerful ally. My phone buzzed. A message from my sister Melissa. Melissa, Mom told me what happened. Are you okay? She's acting crazy. Me, I'm fine. Better than fine. I got a job and moved out. Melissa, that man from the wedding. Are you safe? Me, safer than I've been in years. Melissa, okay, but if you need anything, call me. Not them, me. I smiled at that. At least I still had one family member who cared. Me, I will, I promise. I spent the evening unpacking the few belongings I'd brought from my father's house. At some point, I caught my reflection in the bathroom mirror. Short hair, clear eyes, standing tall in my new apartment. I looked like someone who couldn't be pushed around anymore. I looked dangerous. And I liked it. My phone buzzed one more time before bed. Minjun, sleep well. Tomorrow you start building your future. I saved the message and smiled. I already had.